Wow. You know how hard it is to play there. Hard. Our guys love doing this event. It's so much fun for them. They get to go over on, is it Wednesday, Coach? Is that
Yes,
what
sir.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
it falls on
22nd.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Falls on Wednesday of our off week before the Florida game, and they love getting to go over there. They enjoy playing and look forward to it, and more of them are wanting opportunities. And now they have that belt, they'll really be competing for it. So I'm excited to do that, and really encourage Dog Nation and everybody involved as supports UGA football to give to this cause, because it means so much to so many. And so many people have been impacted by both of those diseases. So thank you for that, Coach. I'll open it up. Obviously, you guys know who we play, and we are preparing for that game the end of last week and moving forward that way this week. Excited, big stage, big time game. Athens, economic impact on this city and just what it's done for the community is going to be huge. Got a lot of great home games, but this is one of the feature ones, and really good program. Coach DeBoer's done a great job to me, trying to fill some mighty big shoes, and he is doing a great job in his own right in the way he approaches things. They got a good football team, big, physical, fast team, just like they've always been, and should be an exciting game.
Brooks?
Yeah, Coach, how have you seen this Alabama offense change year over year? Obviously, the quarterback has changed, but how has their identity changed, if at all?
Ty's different than Milroe. You said it. So there's a difference in that, but he's a really good athlete. Like, he's a tremendous athlete. He played in games last year, and you watch all the snaps he took, and he has 60, 70, 80-yard runs that are, running down the field, outrunning good defenses. So he's a talented player. I would say he's probably the hottest quarterback right now in all of college football. His two last outings, I don't know that I've seen an incompletion. Like, the ball does not hit the ground. He's been accurate. He's been quick with the ball. They're really hard to defend because of their skill. They've got tremendous skilled receivers, backs, tight ends, but you got to have a trigger guy that can get those guys the ball, and they do. And he's seeing the field. I didn't realize, in the Florida State game, it was as messy and sloppy as the weather was at times. Like we were playing a game during that time, so I had no idea until last week. You go watch, and you're like, oh, okay. It was a rainy, sloppy game. In the other games he's played, there's been no sloppiness. I mean, he's accurate, he's quick with the ball, he's a good decision maker, and has made some elite throws. So they're clicking right now offensively for sure.
Yeah, this will be your 8th time as a head coach coaching against Alabama, but your first time meeting them in Sanford Stadium. How much of a difference do you think playing this game at home can make for you guys?
Being at home is an advantage. Just as I say, going on the road is hard. Going on the road last year to play the games we played, hard. Going to Tennessee a couple weeks ago was hard. Playing at home, it helps. The atmosphere helps. The crowd noise helps. Being familiar with your surroundings and all that stuff helps. But at the end of the day, you got to go play football, and it comes down to matchups. It comes down to who blocks and tackles the best. Who executes and does things in the key moments of the game. So certainly glad it's at home, but we still got to play well.
There'll be a lot of attention on Ryan Williams, but what have you seen from the entire Alabama receiving corps and just their strengths?
Block, man, they're physical. They come off, they hit you. You've seen them on tape go vertical, make vertical plays. Obviously, the talent Ryan has, but there's a lot of people that focus on him and try to take him out of the game. And the Bernard kid has been incredible. I feel like he's been there forever. He's only been there in his second year. He came with those guys. He is the catalyst to that offense because he does so much. He is similar to Dylan Bell, but they use him as a back. They use him as a point of attack blocker, reverse guy, gadget guy, vertical guy, deep routes. I mean, he's a complete player, and he's really physical. And I have a lot of respect for the way he plays. But all their wideouts are playing at a high level right now because the quarterback is. And when your quarterback's throwing the ball well, and they're catching the ball well, it's hard because they don't just do one thing. They have very multiple schemes.
Kirby, on the home atmosphere, I know that athletic department has done some tangible things to try and improve the atmosphere over the years. Do you think it is a much tougher place to play than it used to be?
I don't know what it's hard to what you referenced there. I mean, the toughest places to play is where the best players are. So, like, when you have really good teams, they're hard to play against. I don't know, did the atmosphere alone makes it that way? I mean, I've played in some. There's a point of no return, like A&M. It's really loud. I played when I coached there. When I coached at Alabama, Auburn, one of the hardest places. Tennessee, one of the hardest places. I mean, they're all hard. LSU, they're all really hard to play in. And I think ours fits in that same category of hard to play in. But it's what you're playing against that makes the difference. I don't like making it about the athletic department and what kind of atmosphere they create. The fans create the atmosphere, not the athletic department. And our fans have done a great job of giving us a competitive home field advantage that is equal to other places in the SEC.
Yeah, now that you've had some time to look at the film and sit on it, what kind of were your biggest takeaways from what the offense was able to do against Tennessee, and what were some of the areas y'all try to focus on in the bye week to build on a performance like that on the road?
Yeah, we're trying to get better at everything. Like I can't sit here and tell you there's one area of like, okay, we got to do this, got to do this. We got to score touchdowns in the red area. We got to be able to run the ball efficiently. We got to be able to play action. Got to be able to drop back. Got to build a perimeter block. I mean, there's nothing that didn't need work coming out of the Tennessee game. We didn't go back and say, man, we're really good at this. Let's put this on the back burner and let's go work on these other areas. We work on everything every day because we need everything every day. So the days we worked last week, 3 or 4 days we worked, we targeted different areas and tried to get better at them.
Coach, obviously there was a lot of similarity between the two teams under Coach Saban. Have you seen a difference in just how you guys were prepared for this version of Alabama now that they've kind of started to morph into, kind of more of what Coach DeBoer wants to do with his team?
Yeah, I don't know where that question's going. I mean, how do you prepare for any team? We prepare for every team the same. We don't go, okay, we got to prepare for Tennessee differently than we prepare for Alabama. We prepare by doing what they do and trying to do it better than they do it in terms of the look we give our guys, which is really hard to simulate. But I don't see it like, okay, Coach DeBoer's there, we got to prepare this kind of way. They're a really good football team with really good players. They've changed. Yeah, they've changed defensively and they've changed offensively. And you know what? They'll change every year as their personnel changes. Milroe's different than Ty, but they're both tremendous athletes. And our preparation is what we're trying to remain consistent.
Coach, what advantages did the bye week give you just getting healthy and preparing for Alabama?
Yeah, I mean it's equal, right? Because in this case we both have bye weeks, so I don't see it really different in terms of preparation. We worked on other opponents, we worked on ourselves. We got a lot of young guys reps. Got some time off to get away, which the players got this weekend. So I don't see the prep being different than most weeks for us. Just a little more time.
Hey Kirby, you talk about explosive plays all the time. Is Ryan Williams the definition of that any moment he catches the ball into his hands, he can create an explosive play? Yeah, he's a dynamic receiver. When you got a guy that's a 100-meter champ and explosive and got the ball skills he has, I mean, he possesses all the traits of elite wideouts: make you miss, vertical threat, quickness, toughness. I mean, he's an all-around great player, and he's proven to be an explosive play waiting to happen.
Kirby, what's your impressions of their running back core and what difference can Jan Miller make if he's back?
Well, he's extremely physical, but they've kind of done it by committee. I mean, when I look at them through the first games, it reminds me sometimes of us. I mean, they've got big, they've got small, they've got fast, they've got athletic, they got it all covered, and they play them. They play their backs and keep those guys fresh and healthy. Obviously, Jam has more experience, and he's really physical, hard to tackle, point of attack, can get after it, really good pass protector. I mean, he's just a veteran. It's like looking at our group and saying, okay, is there one guy that's played more than the other guys? They got a lot of guys that have played.
Coach, right side of the offensive line has been banged up good for the start of the year. How did the week kind of help those guys, and how much further along are they this week as opposed to last?
No clue. I mean, how much further along? They got to grow up. We gotta play better across the offensive line. It's not just one side or the other. I think when you look across college football, that's an area that everybody. I tune in and watch games Saturday. There's nobody I'm going, oh man, that's a dominant offensive line right there. They're just running up and down the field on this SEC defense. It doesn't happen. I mean, you don't see scores that are really high scoring. You see really good defensive personnel. You see tough road games. It's not going to be any different in ours. I mean, every team in the SEC is trying to get their offensive line better or as close to right as you can get it, and we'll be trying to do the same. We're trying to create depth and competition and grow guys in those areas.
Yeah, we've seen Zach Branch take a couple of short passes for touchdowns. I guess one, just what have been your impressions of him in that area of the game, but also where do you think, or what have been your impressions of the receivers and tight ends in the perimeter blocking some of these RPOs, things like that?
Zach's been great. He's a hard worker. He practices every day, regardless of what the touches he gets. He's never been a me guy. He just wants to win, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. If that's go deep, go short, do whatever got to do to be successful, protect the ball, get positive yardage, run behind the blocking you got, and do a great job of it. The tight ends and receivers have been physical. We're going to always demand that guys do that first because there's much easier yards through blocking than there are just throwing the ball vertical in our league. You got to be able to do both, but you got to be able to protect the perimeter and do things with blocking and be physical, and that's one of the traits we want to have.
If I could ask one more about home field advantage, even going back to your days as a player, could you feel the difference in how the atmosphere felt, the crowd noise for a night game? I've heard that it's louder at night, and maybe that's true in most venues.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement, that it's louder at night than day. I think depending on the day and the time of the year and the temperature, it can take its toll on the fan base, just like it does the players. I mean, we're not as fast. Our GPS numbers say 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock games, they're not as fast when it's 85, 90 degrees with a humidity factor like we have around here. You end up who can survive, not who can be the fastest. And at night, you don't run into those things. I think the crowd has a little longer to get prepared for it, and they're louder. I mean, they're not as taxed. There's not as much heat. So the games I've coached in, played in, been a part of, night games are a little more rowdy.
What has stood out to you about this Alabama defense through 3 games?
Multiple. They do multiple things. They've got a lot of moving parts, a lot to prepare for. They move their backers around. They have different looks they give you. They disguise in the secondary. They move players around. They have different coverages. They mix man and zone well. But their physical is the biggest thing. At the point of attack, they're really physical, and they play really hard. They got a really good defense, and they're well coached.
Yeah, last year's game against Alabama was the only one you didn't have a sack in. What are some things you guys can do from a pass rushing perspective to really impact that aspect of the game?
Finish on the quarterback. We had multiple opportunities. Their guy was better than the guy that had them, but we had guys back there. But you got to finish on the quarterback.
Going back to the right side of the offensive line, with Dontrell and Bo, what's the next step for them now that they've had that SEC action?
Just improve. Just go out today. They're going to get SEC action today. They're going to get it tomorrow, the next day, and they're going to get it next week. And the idea is to continue to get better and to execute at a high level and do things that they can be successful at. People around them have to play well. It's not just them. So we want to play well around those guys and give them a great opportunity to play well.
Coach, Kalen DeBoer obviously had major shoes to fill, got through last season. What have you seen maybe that stood out to you about how he's built that program or how he's put his own identity on it coming after Nick Saban?
I think he's still doing that. I think it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to go into to take that situation and go into it. Takes someone very confident in themselves, and I think he's proven that. He's won everywhere he's been. He's been very successful everywhere he's been. He's not afraid to do it his way and be good at it. I'm sure he's absorbed some things that he wanted to keep the same. But at the end of the day, it's buy-in, it's players, it's the coaching staff, it's everybody involved. It's a lot to be measured against, obviously, but he knew that before he took it.
Was your phone blowing up yesterday when Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis blocked those kicks? The big fella almost hit 19 miles an hour on that fumble return for a touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't get it right away. I had some people. We were working in the building, and people reached out to me and started sending text, and then I asked somebody to send the video, and our video guy, Jeremy Klosky, sent me the clip of it, and I was like, I've seen that before, because he's blocked a lot of field goals around here in terms of his force and his ability to get off, and then the scoop and score too. I mean, he looks physically great and looks really good. I just did a Zoom with Matt Stafford this morning, and it's pretty amazing to hear him talk about those guys and having to go against them and thinking they had the game won and then have it stolen from them like that.
Got time for one more question for Coach? Anybody?
You were talking about the pass rush last year against Alabama. This year, I think you guys have 4 sacks. How do you guys evaluate where you are, not necessarily in sacks, but just in pressure and quarterback getting what happened?
Well, we evaluate it based on opportunities, right? And we haven't had a lot of opportunities. I think people try to measure those things just on statistics and rankings, and can't do that. We played a very heavy run team in Tennessee, and a team that we were behind ultimately. And then the other 2 opportunities, we had the lowest number of snaps we've ever had. Didn't get many opportunities to, and we also subbed out a lot of guys. So I don't sit here and say, oh my gosh, I'm so concerned about our pass rush. We got to do a better job in everything we do, but I feel good about the rushers we have, and we've got to go out and execute. When we get an opportunity to rush, we got to rush.
Thank you, Coach.